If you feel like your mind is always on, like there's never silence, this one is for you. For so long, I had let my mind control my mood for days, or sometimes for weeks. I wake up thinking about all the things that were wrong with my life, even though my life wasn't that bad if you looked from the outside. And no matter how hard I tried to make it go away by journaling, meditating, or going for a walk, it never really disappeared. In fact, the harder I tried to not to think about this specific negative idea, the louder it got in my mind, and I was feeling like the ugliest creature in the world. I'm not over exaggerating. In this video, I'm going to share why this happens to the best of us and how we can quiet the noise in our mind so we can start living a life peaceful and unbothered. By the way, if you're new here, hi, I'm Mana. I help women break free from overthinking and self-judgment so they can finally start living in a way that feels true and romantically their own. If you've been feeling trapped for a while and you think it's time for you to focus your awareness on your internal state, I invite you to book a free discovery call for my personal coaching program. It's linked in the description below. So let's get into it. I want to first talk about why overthinking becomes our identity. It's not just I overthink, it becomes I'm an anxious person, I'm indecisive, I'm scattered. It's now become your whole identity. Why? Because your mind loves labels. Because it feels safe, because it's familiar, because labeling gives us a sense of who we are, even if it's not necessarily a positive one. For example, I want you to try this. If someone asks you, who are you? And you're not allowed to use the label that you usually use to describe yourself. I'm a teacher, I'm a consultant, I'm a salesperson, I'm a mother, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a wife. How would you describe yourself? Do you know who you are without these labels? And I want you to be really honest with yourself because sometimes I can't even answer that question. And it's not to be judged, it's just how naturally our mind identifies us with these labels. And when you're constantly repeating the same thing, in this situation, overthinking, it's engraved in your brain. It's almost inevitable. It also gives us a false sense of control. And I do this a lot. If I analyze everything, I know exactly what happens next, so it makes me feel safe. Even when all it's doing is just sabotaging myself, it still feels safer, therefore better, than not knowing. But the real price you're paying by doing this is that you stop trusting your own instincts. Overanalyzing becomes your natural state and you don't know what to believe anymore. You start to fear your own desires because it's so out of your comfort zone, and you can't control the outcome when it's unknown. But here's what I learned. Constant second guessing means missed opportunities, jobs, moves, love, freedom. You live more in your mind worrying about worst case scenarios than in your actual life. You try to avoid making mistakes rather than give yourself what you want. Overthinking has now become the one that controls your life, and you're more afraid of failure than you love your life. At some point, you need to ask yourself, am I loving my life or am I playing it safe? If the answer is the former, then great! You can stop watching this video and go back to living your beautiful life. But if you said yes to the latter, chances are you're starting to realize the fact that you are tired of being controlled by your fears and you want to stop doing it. If that's the case, you need to do something about it because no one is coming to save you. And that's exactly why I created this 3-month coaching program. I used to read lots of self-help books and consume all the videos on YouTube only to feel like nothing has changed in my real life. To really break free from your repeated patterns, you need to bring your subconscious beliefs into consciousness. It took me years to even notice that I had these beliefs that were keeping me small because I was doing it all alone, and that's what I'm here for. I bring all my experiences in coaching training and living experiences to help you find your clarity and alignment. So if you feel called to it, be sure to book a discovery call from the link below. So what happens when you stop identifying yourself with your anxieties? It doesn't mean you never overthink again. You probably will, at least time to time, but you no longer believe every single thought that comes into your mind. Even things get loud in your mind, you get to choose to be an observer. Like, oh, there is my mind spinning again. And you don't feel the urgency to fix it right away. You remember you have more power than your mind, and you don't have to be its victim anymore. Only then you get to listen to what it is that you really value and want. And that's the key to living a life that's truly aligned with who you are at the core. So, if there is one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's that your mind will always do what minds do, but it doesn't have to define you. You are more powerful than what your mind tells you, and you could always choose to live free from your overthinking. It's easy to keep this all in your head, but if you're ready to really face what's behind your unconscious beliefs and start living a life that feels authentic to you, my 3-month coaching program, Romantic Rebirth, might be your next step. I have 7 spots available for August, so be sure to book your discovery call. It's linked down in the description. By the way, sorry about my voice. I caught a bit of a cold, but I still wanted to film this. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!